Okay, now let's get back to the comics of the multiverse play, but also a kind of game. So I've ended the confrontation with against the dreamer. So it was confrontation number 66, and it's a win. Okay. And I can write a summary of the story, or the whole story I will keep for this confrontation. I plan on writing something nice on SGOYT. But for now, just for the sake of this video, I'm gonna write the story down here. So what we have is a robotic environment where a little girl, the dreamer, with psychic powers, has a lot of nightmares, and the heroes had to confront them while keeping the girl safe. Okay, so how could this situation occur? In fact, in previous issues of a new generation, the current series is Dark Watch, but it's the fourth issue. Before that, there were a lot of things happening in a new generation, and it is what happened in the same world. So a new generation precedes Dark Watch, and in a new generation, Omnitron appeared, and Omnitron 4 also appeared. And the main thing about it is that we learned from what happened in a new generation that Pars, the supercomputing woman, had her powers originated from Omnitron, or at least Omnitron made something to her to try to get more power and be more powerful. But a few heroes came and fought her. So I think that was, I'm gonna look for it. Well, in the beginning, I didn't use this way to put first the heroes, then the villain, then the environment. So it's less easy to find things here, but I think I can have it. Yes, it's here. It's Confrontation 28 in A New Generation 21, and it's written after Out of Control number 2. It's another series, Out of Control, where Legacy, Aka, and Absolute Zero had to fight Fanatic. I used my hero as villain variant, and Fanatic was the one to fight against, and she won. She could literally crush Aka, Legacy, and also Absolute Zero. So that was quite fun and a really great memory of playing. And after this fight, she realized she has just beaten Legacy, and she realized that it was not a good thing, and that she had to calm down. So she was in fact following a drug baron from Peru, and Aka was trying to prevent her from killing him. And after their fight together, they decided to follow the drug baron. And after some investigation, they understood that he had been working for something or someone. And following their investigation, they find a robotic factory where Omnitron is. So it's a robotic factory with this sort of artificial intelligence in it, with a lot of tools. And Aka destroys, with his Ravage ability, a bunch of electronics, which causes the overall atmosphere to change and the magnetic field all around be perturbed. And this explains the fact that I played with Realm of Discord. The environment for this configuration was Realm of Discord, so I used it as a generic environment to in which there are a lot of strange things happening. Okay. During this fight against Omnitron, they were successful. They could defeat it. They found that at the end of this fight, a young woman that was in fact on which Omnitron was experimenting, and they realized afterwards, after this day that she had powers, but nothing about her in a new generation since then. And in fact, this was in a new generation 21. This was a flashback, in fact. Okay, this was a flashback issue because Parse had already been seen in previous episodes, and in fact in a new generation number 21, the previous issue in the new generation, we had Parse after having defeated a lot of villains very easily thanks to her supercomputing powers. We had Parse defeated by Omnitron himself. It was able to overcompute her, in fact. Okay, so we've got this thing about Omnitron, who a few years ago had tried to experiment on Parse, and they meet again in a new generation number 20, and in a flashback issue, a new generation number 21, we explain what has happened before. Since then, Parse has gone to Space Quest series. Okay, she's the leader of the team who is looking for the Freedom 5 members, and they're on Mars for now. Many things will happen to them, and there were some plots and some twists about her and people coming from the future, and so you got to read that. And so we've got this about Omnitron. He was experimenting on Parse. And after these fights, there was also Omnitron 10, who appeared as a result of Omnitron's defeat and the fact that Omnitron wanted to reach something new, and a part of it became kind of conscious being, okay, with a self, and it became Omnitron 10 with Parse on Mars. And what I could do with all this to explain that, what I could do with this last confrontation is that maybe we had once again this robotic thing or another one try to experiment on a little girl, and either developing her powers or having looked for her because she had these powers. And the heroes get aware of this thanks to something happening, okay, some catastrophe or something like that. So I will go for that. I will say that in the last issue of Dark Watch, Night Mist understood there was a problem with Choke Point. So she wants to investigate it. She stays in the realm of discord, but the other heroes, the RP setback, come back to Earth. Okay? So I will write that. Night Mist stayed in realm of discord for investigation. She can do that. She can stay alone there. She's very, very powerful. She has made a lot of really heroic feats along all these issues. So, but she prefers the other heroes to get back to Earth. Setback and GRP come back. And I must find a way for them to be aware of this thing about robot experimenting on a girl. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that there was this robotic factory, maybe not this time, but yes, some kind of robots having built a nest in which it experiments on these girls, developing its abilities. Okay, abilities she had already, I don't know. But the girl kind of awakes, and it destroys many things around. And the robot is kind of overwhelmed by this. But the RP, who has the most magical powers in the team, feels it, and they go there. Okay? So, here we go. the RP feels strong psychic aura coming from they are next to Megalopolis, so we'll say it's out of town, from out of town. Okay. An explosion occurs there. Occurs there. Occurs there. Heroes go and find underground a gigantic robotic cave. Okay, so it's not a robotic factory, it's a robotic cave in which a little girl is fighting against drones. Okay, so when they appear, she's trying to get rid of these drones, and we saw at the beginning of the game that there was no drone, so in fact she got rid of them, but there were these projections, and then okay, they had to fight, save the girl, destroy the drones, and flee away or take care of drone. I won't specify that for now. Concerning what happened during the game, there were these projections, so this is told in the comic book, and we saw that the main damage was dealt by Mr. Fixer and Setback. The RP had some tweaks. There were the crows that came to help her. So nothing really important. If there was a card at some time that gave me some inspiration, I could use it to change the story. But I think I'm okay with that, and I will be done. Okay. So sometimes I let some explanation unexplained. I let some facts unexplained at the end of my story, and I ask a question saying, what is this girl? Where does she come from? You'll know that in the next issue of Dark Watch. Okay, so I try to find answers and to answer these questions along with the following confrontations, and generally that works quite well. So I have reintroduced this kind of robots experimenting on people, and that may be a way to go back to Porth, who is having trouble with our friends, the Sentinels, who have taken her down in a Space Quest, and I could make something interesting with that. Okay, so that's it.